Hello, I'm Kimberly, and welcome to the weekend edition of the Native News Update. It's Friday, April 13th, and many of the stories you hear here can be found at IndianCountryTV.com. And here's news for the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. Legendary rock guitarist Carlos Santana is set to release his 36th album, Shapeshifter, on May 15th. The 13-song set is an instrumental featuring tracks spanning from the late 1990s to the present. The first for his new label, Starfaith Records, and dedicated to all Native Americans, acknowledging Australia's 2008 apology to the Aboriginals and President Obama's signing of the 2009 Native American Apology Resolution. We Are All One is how Carlos defines his shape-shifting transformation for changing how he continues as a musician. There are no borders, one race, one body, where we all take responsibility.
It feels that it's a perfect time to give people something that they've been asking for a long, long time. We just want to hear Carlos play his guitar. So this is it. I have consciously created a CD to honor the first people of the land. This is the year 2012, where everyone predicts the end of everything for this planet. I feel that the things that I have learned since I was a child from the American Indians is that the world is ending, and it will end for those who wake up to be served. The world is just commencing and beginning for those who roll up their sleeves. They're not afraid to serve. The American Indians really believe that you can shape-shift from a turtle to a coyote to a wolf to an eagle. I just believe that you can allow willingness to embrace all the music, all the idioms, and just create an instrumental music where the melody becomes the universal language.
Carlos has also been very outspoken against NARIS and the recent dropping of the ethnic Grammy categories, including the Native American music category. The cover art for Shapeshifter was created by famed Comanche artist Rance Hood. Rance Hood is one of the few Native American artists who still paints in the manner which echoes the traditional Indian culture and spirituality of the past. Today, 30 years beyond his original success as major Indian artist in the 1960s, Rance Hood is still considered the most successful Plains Indian artist. For more information on Santana's new album, you can visit Santana.com. And for those interested in carrying the CD in their stores or gift shops, they can contact 212-228-8300 or email belloellen@aol.com. Ameya Pawar is the alderman for the 47th Ward in the city of Chicago. Through a vision of bringing community together, he helped create OpenWall. OpenWall is revolving art exhibits from the talented artists of the ward and an annual showcase for the 47th Ward high schools. His new 47th Ward office features artwork from the local 47th Ward artists. The artwork reflects the diverse faces and spaces within the ward. On April 20th, OpenWall will bring you contemporary Native art from the American Indian Center of Chicago. For more information on this event, you can check out facebook.com/OpenWall Curator. On April 12th, Oklahoma City Thunder's Kevin Durant debuted the N7 edition of his signature shoe, the Nike Zoom KD4, in the game against the Los Angeles Clippers. The Nike N7 initiative is dedicated to promoting sports among the Native American and Aboriginal communities. Since 2009, the N7 Fund has raised over $1 million for that cause, with a significant amount coming from Nike's various N7 collections of shoes and apparel. Even though Durant has been Nike basketball's MVP this year, wearing the N7 edition might be the most significant pair he dons all season. Playing in Oklahoma has made Durant aware of the cause, and it was more than a natural fit for him to take part in the N7 Fund.
What's up, man? It's KD here with the N7 KD4s. Being playing in Oklahoma, there's a lot of Native Americans here, so we want to do something to recognize them. So we got the N7 KDs, and
Durant collaborated with Nike's basketball and N7 teams to find a meaningful way to give back to the fans and community who has supported him by raising awareness for N7. Everybody leaves a footprint is the N7 tagline, referencing how each of us inevitably has an impact that affects future generations. For more information, you can check out NikeN7.com. The 14th Annual Native American Music Awards show is tentatively scheduled for November 30th at the Seneca Niagara Casino in Niagara Falls, New York. The new 2012 Native American Music Awards Advisory membership applications and nomination submission forms are now available on their website. Recording eligibility period is from April 1st, 2011 to June 1st, 2012. Submission entry deadline will be June 30th. Nomination selection process through membership voting will begin on August 1st, and open voting for the general public will begin sometime in the fall. For more information, you can visit NativeAmericanMusicAwards.com. According to the 2010 U.S. Census, more than 13,400 people in the city of Chicago identified themselves as being of American Indian or Alaska Native descent. Thousands of Native Americans were relocated under federal policy to urban areas like Chicago in the 1950s and 60s, but found little support and few social services. Chicago's American Indian Center, the oldest urban Native American center in the United States, was founded in 1953 to fill that gap for those in that city. Today, that center struggles to keep its doors open. A number of factors complicate the center's search for funding, not the least of which is the exclusion of urban Native Americans from most federal funds. AIC Director of Development David Spencer, who is the center's only grant writer, says he asks every volunteer to try writing grants, since public and private funds that could help finance the center go unapplied for on a daily basis. The center also is trying to attract more people to an expanded range of events through its Facebook and Twitter account in order to bring in more money through admission fees. Events include the center's annual powwow, monthly bingos, community bowling outings, and art exhibitions. For more information on the center or to make a donation, you can visit aic-chicago.org. Dixie State College's Center for Media Innovation announced that its documentary film on the life of Wayne Newton, titled Wayne Newton, a Native American Legend, has been selected to be shown at the 2012 Boston International Film Festival. The film has been selected to serve as the closing feature on the April 22nd at Lowe's Theater, Boston Commons, on the final day of the 10th annual festival. The documentary film is also featured attraction at Newton's Casa de Shenandoah Estate in Las Vegas, which was transformed into a major tourist attraction that opened to the public tours earlier this year. After decades of shooting celebrities and luxury products while working on ad campaigns for companies like Nike, Harley-Davidson, and Porsche, commercial photographer Dennis Manarchy hopes to set out on a 25,000-mile road trip in order to document the oldest cultures in the United States for a project called Vanishing Cultures, an American Portrait.
These paintings were more powerful than any photograph that I've ever seen, let alone done. In my whole life, my benchmark, my goal is to make pictures that had that kind of power. Every time I rethink the whole concept of it, I sort of reinvent the technical aspect of how can I improve the quality. So that's when I decided that I'm going to do the most idiot thing I could ever think of and find a camera the size of a truck and try to make a portrait with it.
Taking with him his camera, Eye of America, which measures in at almost an unbelievable 35 feet long. The camera body is mounted on a towable trailer and will be hauled around America by Manarchy, who is using it to photograph people in all 50 U.S. states. The camera uses 6-foot negatives and will capture thousands of times more detail than even the most expensive digital cameras. Along with capturing images such as cowboys, Cajuns, African American farmers, Native Americans, Holocaust survivors, and World War II vets, he will be filming documentaries of their stories.
I'm just an old Navajo, the way I see it. I served 1 year in the state and 1 year in Vietnam. I was a machine gunner. I lost a lot of friends. I still think about it.
I have a lot of friends that every day when they see me, they say, "Oh, I'm praying for you." And I said, "Oh, thank you. That gives me strength, and I need that."
Long time ago, we all spoke Yavapai, and that was easy to learn from, but now that no longer happens. My name is Larry Doka, and I was raised here. I'm proud that I am a Yavapai because there's not very many of us left, and we're not like other people, you know. We're working people, and we learn to get by, and we don't depend on handouts.
He plans to make 24-foot tall prints of his subjects that will have extraordinary detail, with hopes to create a traveling exhibit to bring these portraits in a documentary to the public. For more information, you can visit thefpac.org. And that's another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. I'd like to thank you for joining me, and have a grand day.